programs, and beautiful campus you enjoy today. Why did we bother with all of this effort? What does a Catholic education do for you and the community? Graduates of Catholic high schools are more likely to vote. Graduates of Catholic high schools are more likely to earn higher wages. Catholic schools tend to produce graduates that are more civically engaged, more tolerant of diverse views, and more committed to service as adults. What is the basis for these statistics? At Holy Trinity, we call it building Christian leaders. Back in my day, we called it good old Catholic guilt. This need to be responsible, to fulfill commitments, to serve your church and community. Jean and I had dinner with our neighbors recently. They are an older couple, yes, older than me, and very Baptist. Wallace has been chancellor of the Baptist University system, and Patsy is a very elegant president's wife. I used the term Catholic guilt, and Patsy said, "I've never heard that term. What does it mean?" I tried to explain in terms of responsibility, but I now think I have a better understanding. Our St. Luke Adult Ed class is studying the sacraments, and in examining confirmation, we reviewed the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Wisdom, knowledge, counsel, understanding, fortitude, piety, and fear of the Lord. I think that Catholic guilt is the Holy Spirit knocking on my head with the gift of the moment. Be open to the gift the Holy Spirit has for you. Another gem in the Catechism regarding confirmation is very applicable to Catholic education. As Bishop Vasquez said Thursday evening, you have received a most valuable gift and have the responsibility to thank your family and the community. However, you are the gift, and that has been formed and nurtured. Will that gift be put to good use? Graduation without service would be like graduating with no education, a disappointment and totally useless. Service is the secret to health, happiness, and holiness. A healthy mind, a happy state of being, and a holy life. When God checks in periodically, and He will, in big and small ways, to say, "Where are you?" Will you be hiding? Or will you step forward and say, "Here I am, Lord, ready to do your will"? Truly become the Christian leaders for your friends, family, school, church, and community. We are all depending on you. Congratulations, class of 2014. You have worked hard, achieved success, and are well prepared to begin the next step toward achieving your dreams. It has been said that a society is made great when old men plant trees under which they will never sit. I hope that God will continue to bless you and that you will help nurture the trees that have been planted here at Holy Trinity. May your life have purpose, that you will have the opportunity to plant trees for others.
Ladies and gentlemen, the salutatorian for the class of 2014 is Angel Cubion. She is the daughter of Robin and Lillian Cubion and little sisters to brothers Cliff and Andrew. In addition to her outstanding academic efforts, she is a member of the St. Luke's Catholic community. While at school, she could often be found in the chapel practicing with Mrs. Betty for Bellasona. Due to her hard work, she was offered, listen carefully, over $250,000, $305,000 to be exact, in scholarship money at various universities over a 4-year period. Angel will attend the University of Mary Hardin Baylor in the fall, where she will make her mark as a Celtic amongst the Crusaders. Ladies and gentlemen, Angel Couillon. I never realized how short I was until this photo.
To all our family, friends, supportive faculty, staff, Miss Terry, Father James, Dr. Alonzo, distinguished board members, class of 2014, or my dear seniors, and all others present here, welcome. Before I begin, let me just say, public speaking isn't exactly my forte. When I received the honor of becoming salutatorian for the class of 2014, I immediately was faced with the daunting task of not only writing an engaging speech that will wow and inspire everyone in this room, but to eloquently and slowly speak so as to not show how nervous I really am. So here goes nothing. When beginning to write my speech, I consulted the greatest intelligence I know that could aid me in this undertaking, none other than my brother, Andrew Couillon. The advice Andrew gave me was thus: just go up there, quote me, and then say, peace out. However easy and helpful that sounded, I decided to write the speech my own. Today we celebrate a journey that has lasted 4 years, 48 months, 1,460 days, or 35,040 hours. I really hope that math is correct. For some of us, high school has flown by. For others, it has dragged on and on, like taking the SAT. The end of our high school career at Trinity marks not just the end of our high school experience, but also the beginning of new experiences, new undertakings, and the future fulfilling of our dreams. By ending this journey, we undertake a greater journey with the tools and knowledge obtained from our years of high school, and with the hope that we will achieve God's plan for our lives. This new beginning will be complicated for us and will pose many challenges, but along the way, we can always look back and remember the wonderful memories, experiences, and friends we have made in Trinity. When I think about all the memories and experiences over the years, I'm reminded of a quote from one of my brother Clifford's favorite authors, Dr. Seuss. He said, "Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." Day after day at Holy Trinity brought about new moments of laughter, happiness, education, and compassion that shaped the memories that we have today. Who could forget our first Coach Bowles workout? The infestation of crickets that seemed to appear where you least expected them, such as in our lockers or falling from the gym ceiling. The Romeo and Juliet pattern, which caused many of us to question our own sanity. The extensive amounts of coffee we drank at the UMHB library, causing one extremely hyper sophomore class. Receiving 40 free Federal Reserve notes at the Fed, however shredded and unusable they are, and forming plans to tape them back together. Beating CTCS at football freshman year. That had to be one of the most intense football games in the history of football. Everyone crowding around Hannah before the 8-push exam junior year because she happened to have the only 8-push crash course book in the class. Moments such as enacting the Book of Ruth in Miss Fetty's class freshman year with the talent and acting skills of Julie and Mark. Watching all the girls light up when they saw their letters at the senior retreat and listening to them read parts of the letters, especially Fernanda's letter from her mom. Watching the boys in our class, surprisingly, being the only people who actually cried at the senior retreat. I mean, they really cried. Those are some sensitive boys. And the next day, confidently announcing that they did. Hearing Greg, Anthony, Mark, and David use their superhero voices during the Abbey retreat, and then practicing reading with Batman voices out of the dictionary. Watching some of the senior theater boys put on heavy amounts of eyeliner at the plays, Didn't know they could pull that off so well. The intense amount of family rivalries, causing the mostly senior family heads to try and one-up each other. Sorry, Finian, but Killian did win Powder Puff this year. Listening to David sing Seasons of Love at the Belton concert. Sorry, David, I had to put that in there. Learning about Johnny O's fascination with the losing Mr. Bird's twittering, have become lasting memories for not just myself, but for our senior class. The most important memory of this senior class is, however, that we are the last class to have had school in the old Vanderbilt building. As a class, we aided in packing up the old school with mountains of boxes and tons of desks, tables, and chairs. Some of the memories of our freshman year at Vanderbilt were the morning snack bar, activity period, or last-minute family prep period, prayer services in the CSR, and that one sink in the upstairs hall that seemed to lead to nowhere. Looking back then, we just regarded the old school as a place that was moldy and had cracks in the ceiling. While both of these things are true, looking back now as a class, we remember the old school is our roots, the beginning of a journey that has brought us to this day, graduation. Every day at Holy Trinity brought about a new challenge that we had to face that helped us grow into the strong people you see before you today. I'm reminded of a passage from the book of James that clearly emphasizes this. It is, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." All those CASER tests and daily quizzes, FETI papers, West packets, and OMEN projects are not just there to be constant reminders of how much high school majorly cuts into the sleep cycle of a regular teenager, but they strengthened us and helped us to understand that one, procrastinating studying or writing for classes isn't exactly the best idea, and two, that hard work really pays off in the end. Our senior class is one of great perseverance. Believe me, it takes a great amount of perseverance to muddle through studying for AP exams. I can safely say I know way too much about the 27 amendments and literary devices. It takes perseverance to know, even if we fail or get hurt, like so many of us did over the years, that all we have to do is pick ourselves up and carry on with the courage of God. We have persevered through mountains of homework, best friends moving or going to other schools, beloved teachers such as Mr. Sarko, Coach Sanders, Ms. Stella Grange, and Coach D leaving, difficult quizzes, seemingly never-ending tests, projects, especially the poetry project, which presented the impossible task of everyone in the senior class becoming experts on a specific poet and their poetry. Good luck to all the incoming seniors present today. This type of perseverance does not just happen like the injuries that naturally happen during art class glass projects, but it has been fostered by our family, friends, and situations we have encountered. Before I move on, let me say, to all our family, friends, loving teachers and staff, on behalf of the senior class, a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for your constant reminders about school, for activities, no matter how extensive. Thank you for being there in the worst times to lift us up, and in the best times to revel in the joy of our lives that God has given us. And for being there to remember all the memories cherished and made throughout the last years. It is with your support that we have persevered through this journey. This class represents the true meaning of a Holy Trinity student. That no matter what obstacles confront us, we face them with perseverance and the knowledge that God is always there with us. We may move on to new experiences and be apart from one another and the foundation we have created here. But with the memories of our friends, our days at Holy Trinity, and with perseverance, we can truly say we are the Christian leaders of tomorrow, and we have our roots in the halls, or hall, of Holy Trinity. Yes, I know I just quoted the school song, and that is a little corny, but we really will look back in a couple of years, remember all the moments that touched our hearts here and remember that we are a member of the Holy Trinity family, no matter how dysfunctional we might be sometimes. So as I come to the conclusion of my speech, which I cannot believe I haven't actually fainted or bored anybody to the point of sleep, I would just like to say, as this journey of high school comes to an end, that doesn't mean our memories of the journey will. As we persevere on, we will remember all the trials, strength, and knowledge we have experienced and obtained at Holy Trinity. And in the immortal words of Captain Kirk from Star Trek, boldly go where no man has gone before. I would like to leave you with this quote by none or not. It says, in life we do things. Some we wish we had never done. Some we wish we could replay 1,000,000 times in our heads. But they all make us who we are, and in the end, shape every detail about us. If we were to reverse any of them, we wouldn't be the person we are today. So just live, make mistakes, have wonderful memories, but never ever second guess who you are, where you have been, and most importantly, where it is you are going. And on that note, I turn the microphone over to Dr.
Ladies and gentlemen, the valedictorian for the class of 2014 is Anthony Doe. He will give the farewell address. Anthony is the son of Mary and Fred Doe, whom is overseas in Kuwait serving our country. Anthony is one of 7 children. During his high school career, he has been an active member of the forensic and academic tax team for all 4 years, and he will graduate as the all-time point leader. He was also named a commended National Merit Scholar and a National AP Scholar. Anthony received the following department awards for academic excellence for all 4 years: English, Social Studies, Theater Arts, Math, Theology, and Male Fine Arts Student of the Year. In addition, if you saw today's Temple Daily Telegram front page, he was also selected as the State Male Fine Arts Student of the Year by TAX. He is an active member of Holy Family in Copper's Cove with Father Family. Anthony will attend Texas A&M, where he will study engineering. I have the great honor to present to you Mr. Anthony Doe.
Howdy, everyone.
Howdy.
As many of you may know, I participated in speech and debate through most of my high school years, actually all of my high school years. Actually, to say I participated in them would be a little bit of an understatement. Every time I wake up on a Saturday morning and I'm not headed to some obscure high school in the state of Texas to be judged by complete strangers, I honestly feel kind of weird now. So, to start my speech today, I decided I would share with you one of my favorite introductions to the event of extemporaneous speaking. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. There used to be a street called Chuck Norris. The name was changed because nobody crosses Chuck Norris and lives. Unfortunately, we can't all be Chuck Norris. We cannot do whatever we want by ourselves and expect perfect results. For the time we are born, every children's book, motivational speaker, boy band, and televangelist seems to have the same message. You really are awesome. This is definitely true to a certain extent. Notice the phrase, to a certain extent. While everyone is talented in some manner, I promise that you are definitely not as great as you think you are. No matter what talents you have, you will eventually fall flat on your face if you only rely upon your own skills. I have been fortunate to have what I would consider to be a fairly successful high school career. And many of the things I did in high school would, however, be impossible without the great support I got from others. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to everyone who made my Belton Trinity experience possible. My mother, who sacrificed hours upon hours of her time to drive me to school from Copper's Cove and the various extracurricular activities associated with Belton Trinity. My father, currently in Kuwait, who sacrificed countless hours of his time to bring home the money that made my experience possible. My sister and my brother, who gave me so much in high school, but generously provided their house, their food, their couch, and most importantly of all, their Netflix. The rest of my family provided financial and moral support that I cannot thank them enough for. My classmates have been there for me in so many ways. These great people laughed at me, braved CASER tests with me, and helped me to get around my unfortunate habit of forgetting everyday things. The faculty of Belton Trinity has also helped immensely. Although these men and women might earn more somewhere else, or they probably would earn more somewhere else, they selflessly devote their time and talents to help me and my fellow students achieve success. And the benefactors of Belton Trinity. Without their time and their money, none of this would be possible. Finally, I thank God for giving me the gifts and abilities that have made any of my successes possible. And if there's anyone I forgot to mention, thank you as well. Fellow classmates, believe me, I really do think you're all great, talented people. So don't take it as an insult when I tell you that without your mommies, daddies, teachers, siblings, classmates, friends, coaches, mentors, and most importantly, your God, you would all not have nearly the same level of success in high school, or life for that matter. A student who excels in academics will never get anywhere without using the great network of knowledge discovered by others. Athletes will never achieve a major success without relying on some type of support structure, such as a team or training group. Unless you plan on living the rest of your days on a deserted tropical island in the middle of the ocean, you will need help to get ahead with it. Sadly, I believe this whole concept of interdependency is poorly understood by today's culture. Even with the internet and other marvelous technologies, we still find it difficult as a society to connect with others and to ask for help. In quite a few sermons at Belton Trinity, Father James Misko spoke to us of the ills associated with rugged individualism, as he called it. Once people start to believe that they can do everything by themselves, or that they should do everything by themselves, it is quite easy to forget just how fragile we really are. This value system makes pride the greatest goal in place of true excellence. Personally, I hold this excessive spirit of individualism responsible for that problem of making pride one of the greatest goals in our society. The prevalence of this ideology makes it easy to fall into the trap of believing that you are awesome enough to go it alone. Although it has been said, if you want a job done right, do it yourself. I'm here to tell you that if you really want a job done right, do your best and do not be afraid to ask others for help if necessary. I am not advocating a society full of people who never have the confidence or the incentive to finish a job. Other people should never be used as an excuse for laziness. Other Belton Trinity students. When you can do something, do it. If it can help someone, use your talents to make that person's life better. If you truly cannot do something, learn from someone else's expertise so as to complete the task at hand in the most excellent manner possible. Only through a good mixture of humility and hard work can true excellence ever be achieved. Classmates, no matter what you do in life, do not let pride get in the way of excellence. Instead of wondering how to beat your coworkers by yourself to get that next promotion, work together to achieve excellence. And as the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. Fellow seniors, remember to thank all those who have made these high school years successful. In the future, I hope that we may all be able to live by the words of the great philosopher, Bill Withers. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
Thank you, Anthony. Now, for what we're all here for, graduates. Will the class of 2014 please stand? Mrs. Poe, Mr. Matus, members of the Holy Trinity Board of Trustees, and Holy Trinity faculty and staff, I hereby certify that these students have met all of the requirements for graduation as established by Holy Trinity Catholic High School, the Texas Catholic Conference Education Department, and the Texas Education Agency. I ask that they be awarded their diplomas and receive all honors and recognition therein achieved. At this time, graduates, please prepare to come forward to receive your diploma.
welcome the Wheelock. Jose Luis Beglio Rivera. David Douglas Wisebrook.
Class of 2014, please face the audience. As a symbol of your graduation, you may now move your tassels from the right side to the left. Before we end today's ceremony, seniors, I have a few words to share with you. Take what you have learned here at Holy Trinity and let it enable you to go forward and do good. Always be generous with your time, your talent, and all that God has given you. Remember, you will always have a home at Holy Trinity to renew your heart and refresh your spirit. Go be a Christian leader. Now, for a few notices for you, our guests. Seniors will process out these doors and gather at the flagpoles to continue the Celtic tradition, the tossing of the caps. I invite all of you to join us and take pictures.